Before the pandemic, the multilateral system was already in a moment of crisis. Deepening geopolitical divisions and rising nationalism had led many countries to turn away from international cooperation. Countries closed their borders, geopolitical divisions hardened, the WHO was undermined, and the Security Council proved unable to provide decisive leadership. But this is not the whole story. It is important to look beyond the political level to fully understand how the multilateral system is working, particularly during a crisis like a pandemic. This is not just a public health crisis, this is also a socioeconomic crisis, a humanitarian crisis, and a crisis of peace and security. As such, the United Nations has instituted a whole-of-system response based on cooperation, and it is here that we must look for the keys to the future response as we move past the peak of this pandemic. The challenges ahead are many. Poverty is on the rise, hunger is on the rise. For the first time in 30 years, the Human Development Index is falling. Yet, if at the start of this crisis the tendency was to pull up the drawbridges, the tendency as time goes on will be to understand the added need for greater cooperation. This is most evident in the task ahead to ensure fair and equitable access to vaccines around the world. More than 180 countries have now joined COVAX, the global effort to distribute the COVID-19 vaccine led by the WHO and others. With vaccines in need of global distribution and the Herculean task ahead of responding to the broad consequences of the pandemic, there must be a renewed interest in improved international cooperation and the promise that it brings. And it is incumbent upon all of us, North, South, East, and West, to ensure that that promise is fulfilled.